Well, good morning, everyone. I don't think I even need a mic, but anyways, I'll set it off to the side a little bit so I don't blow everybody's eardrums apart. I was always told I talk way too loud and way too much, so I guess that's kind of common for the ground here we're in today. So I'd just like to welcome everyone to our morning committee for the Infrastructure and Development Services and Public Health Services, and all of our many myriad of fans that are following us on Zoom and YouTube. Just welcome everyone. I think it's wonderful. And I'll call the meeting to order, and I'll ask many members of the committee to declare a pecuniary interest at the appropriate time. First of all, I'd like to wish all the best for those candidates that are running out there. I may not get a chance to do this again from the committee's chair before the election, who knows? And I'd like to congratulate everyone that's been acclaimed. I know that that speaks volumes for the way people look at you in your community. I've been acclaimed a few times over the course of my political time, and it was always kind of a nice feeling to know that you didn't have to go out and beat the pavement and try and maintain the duties that you have. And to all those ones that are running, I know you'll all do well. You've got great track records, and all the times I've sat with you, I've appreciated each and every one of you, so thank you very much. And all us old guys that are throwing in the towel and having a rest, good luck. And don't beat me to Timmy's too often. How's that sound? So the first order of business, folks, is the Infrastructure and Development Services Division, and there's an information report, and it's in regards to the Woodlands assessment. Could I have a mover and seconder to receive that report? Mayor Napper, Mayor Hand, any questions or comments in regards to that one? All those in favor? That be carried. Thank you much. Nice to see that we do have some woodlot coverage. So next one we have, folks, is there any other business in regards to the Infrastructure and Development Services this time? Mr. Cole, did you have anything further for us? That approach to the middle bridge in Wilkesport still is kind of ratty there. You kind of lose control, so maybe just have the guys check it again for me and see. Appreciate the work, though, that's been done south of the village down to now, of course, the county line. It's a wonderful stretch of highway now, so thank you, Jason. And I know there's lots of projects ongoing in the county, all of it good. So nothing else for Infrastructure and Development Services. Next is Public Health Services Division. I believe there is 3 items of correspondence to receive and file. Receive those at this time. Moved by Mayor Weber, seconded by Councillor Stark. Councillor Stark, go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Chair. With respect to items A and B, I would like to move a motion that we support the Timiskaming Health Unit in their efforts to combat the opioid crisis, and I'll speak to it if I get a seconder.
Okay, let's receive the information first, if I may. We'll go through that, make sure everybody's okay, and then I'll come back to you, Councillor Stark. All in favor of receiving all the reports or the letters of correspondence? Opposed? That be carried. Councillor Stark, now to you and your motion.
Yes, business arising. The A and B, as I indicated, I would like to have Lambton County support the initiative of Timiskaming Health Unit and the actions that are contained therein, and I'll speak to it if I get a seconder.
Okay. Do I have a seconder for that motion? Mayor Loosely. Any questions or comments in regards to that? Go ahead, Councillor Stark.
Yes. Over the course of the last 4 years, and specifically the 2 years that I was on the Sarnia Police Services Board, it became obvious apparent, that the issue of the opioid crisis has transcended the entire Lambton County. And this is not an issue that you can police your way out of. This is an issue that needs support from the health unit, and it would be my hope that our health unit would enact a symposium such as Timiskaming has advocated for. As a matter of fact, they've instituted it. And what I'm concerned about is that there doesn't seem to be any agency that seems to be taking the lead. And to me, our health unit would be the obvious direction, or should be the obvious body that takes the direction to bring together all of the entities that are trying to fight this. And it seems that everyone recognizes that it's a problem, but nobody seems to be doing anything in terms of a coordinated approach. So it would be my hope that we move in that direction, and by way of this motion, I would ask that our Board of Health investigate whether or not they would be the lead agency. In my view, they should be the lead agency, which brings together the policing aspect, the social services aspect. Somebody needs to take control of this and institute some kind of actions as opposed to simply talking about this. So that's the direction that I'm moving.
Thank you, Councillor. Mayor Weber?
Yes, thanks, Mr. Chair. I believe that we did a drug strategy. We do have a drug strategy plan that was put in place, I think a couple of years ago when I was warden. I'm not sure where it's finished up or what has happened with that, but there was a number of recommendations and all the agencies worked together to come up with a drug strategy. If we could have a little update on where that is, I think it'd be useful.
Please go ahead.
Sure. Thank you very much for the question. Through you, Mr. Chair. Yes, the Lambton alcohol and drug strategy has been developed. It's in draft. Unfortunately, it was right at the point of launch at the beginning of the pandemic. So that work had to be placed on hold from the public health unit. It is basically in place to be launched. It's just within our communications division trying to dot the I's and cross the T's, and our hope is to have that launched within the end of the year. And as Councillor Weber noted, it was very informed, multifaceted by 30 plus agencies, plus by wide community consultation, including Lambton County Council, around what to do about this challenge. And it's really broken down within demand reduction, harm reduction, and supply reduction. So we are hopeful that strategy will be forthcoming. We just wanted to update it because there was 2 years with the pandemic, and multiple things have been continuing in the community, such as development of a community addictions hub, expanded outreach. So we wanted to recognize all the continued work on the drug front before we launch that strategy. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Warden Marriott.
Thank you, Chairman Steve. Just to be clear, Councillor Stark, are you proposing both A and B on this? Because they're both quite different.
Proposing both A and B with specific reference to the one motion that was put forth again by Timiskaming. I believe it's in the first, it's in the first motion, which talks about the various strategies. And that, yes, it is. It's on page 3 of 4. And it talks to provide a long-term financial commitment, that's at the provincial level, but expand access to opioid agonist therapy for opioid use disorder through a range of settings, mobile outreach, primary care, emergency departments. Later in this agenda, we have a report that talks about the incidence of drug use and deaths in Lambton County, which are at an unbelievably higher level than the rest of Ontario. And it says to me that whatever we've done to this point is clearly not enough. We need to be doing something that is more proactive. And as we have heard, there is a strategy, but it's not a strategy that I'm looking for. It's an implementation. Like, with all due respect, the 2 years of pandemic have delayed things. I fully admit that. But the deaths have not stopped. And the reality is that 2 years in the waiting is not satisfactory. We need to be moving We need to be, there should be a force that's up and moving right now, not talking about it, not talking about this is where we're going, or the 30 agencies that have contributed to the strategy. We need action, and that's what I'm talking about.
Gordon Marriott.
Follow up, I can support A, but I can't support B. So if you're going to leave them together, I'll have to vote against it.
I guess
Councillor Stark.
if I can modify the recommendation, it is A that is talking about the specific actions. So I will modify the recommendation to A.
So the motion is that we support A and A alone.
Correct.
Mayor Loosely, are you okay with that?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions? Comments? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of the motion to support item A of correspondence? Opposed? That be carried. Item B, Councillor, are you going to leave that as is to receive and file as information for now?
Receive and file, that's great.
Okay, so it's already been done, so we'll just leave that as is. Next, we have committee is information reports A to D. Could I have a motion to receive those as information, please? Moved by Councillor Stark, second by Mayor Weber. Any questions or comments in regards to those? Councillor Stark, go ahead, sir.
I made reference previously to the opioid trends update, and that is part and parcel of the discussion and the past motion. So thank you.
That's item D, I believe, Councillor.
It is. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of receiving the reports? That be carried. And very good reports too, by the way. Thank you so much for that information. All good knowledge for us to have. The next one is in regards to the Emergency Medical Services Department. And I believe that stemmed out of a motion of County Council. Could I have a mover and seconder to receive that as information, please? Moved by Mayor Broad, seconded by Deputy Warden Hand. Any questions or comments in regards to that one? Deputy Warden Hand, go ahead.
Maybe I missed this. I might be asking it needlessly, but it talked about the additional ambulance, and it starts in Corunna. They do their check-in and then they go to Sarnia. And that was a temporary measure until the shortage of storage was resolved. But I didn't see anything in there about how long this was expected to be the case.
Go ahead.
Thank you for the question, Mayor Hand, through you, Mr. Chair. Our manager for emergency services, Stephen Turner, is online, and I'll pass the question to him, sir.
Is that okay?
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Through you to the Deputy Warden. It's a good question. So right now, the main reason for initially staging the vehicle in Corunna and moving it into Sarnia is because of the amount of space at the Sarnia station. When there's 3 crews plus the students at the station, it becomes rather crowded. We're trying some furniture rearrangements to see if we can potentially move the crew and have them start in Sarnia right away. As it stands right now, it's been effective. There are 2 garages at Corunna, and there's space to be able to house both crews at the beginning to do their vehicle checks and move them over. It moves over rather quickly, and as you can see through the report, it's had significant impact in terms of reducing the number of standbys and vehicle movements across the county, notwithstanding its start there. Typically at the beginning of the day, it'll start at 10 a.m. and it should be able to start being in place in Sarnia shortly after 10:30. So it's not a very material delay. As soon as we're able to, be able to reconcile the space needs within the Sarnia station, and 2, be able to figure out whether that has been effective, we can start trying that and move them in. In terms of timeframes, I would hope that temporary measure should be able to start looking at being resolved at the latest sometime next year, but at the earliest probably within the next couple of months.
Okay, Deputy Warden. Thank you. Any other questions? All in favor? That be carried. Is there any other business for the these folks? Seeing none, we'll go on to Cultural Services Division. The first one is in regards to September 21st regarding the International Oilers Drillers website information report. Could I have a motion to receive that as information, please? Moved by Mayor Loosely, seconded by Councillor Stark. Any questions in regards to that one? Seeing none? Oh, Councillor Stark, go ahead, sir.
I was just interested in the financing of the website. It talks about 50% being covered by a grant, the other 50% being absorbed by the budget. And I guess my question is, was this a budgeted item? And if it was or was, that's fine. If it wasn't, where does the surplus money come from?
Mr. Meyer?
Through you, Mr. Chair, thank you for the question, Councillor Stark. Yes, the other 50% of funding required to complete the project was a budgeted item. Actually, several years ago, it just took a bit of time for staff to do the work involved. Most of the cost was absorbed in-house through our own staff work, digitizing photographs, writing content, editing content, but the actual cost associated with the firms involved was incurred several years ago and was incorporated in our regular operating budget.
Follow up, Councillor?
No, thank you.
Very good. Very informative report and great history for us all to have, for sure. So, all in favor? That be carried. The next we have two reports requiring a motion. The first one's in regards to Museums, Gallery, and Archives Collection Management. Do I have a mover and seconder for the recommendation? Moved by Mayor Weber, seconded by Deputy Warden Hand. Any questions? All in favor? That be carried. And the next report requiring a motion is in regards to use of the bequest for the Petrolia Library that we're accountable for. Do I have a mover and seconder for that recommendation? Moved by Warden Marriott, seconded by Councillor Stark. Any questions in regards to that one? Seeing none, all those in favor? That be carried. I think, Mayor Loosely, you guys have done a great job in dealing with the bequests that you've been granted, and Petrolia should be very proud and very thankful for those that feel it's so important. Mayor Loosely, go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Warden, and we too are very proud. We had the official opening. I want to thank Mr. Meyer. I think it went very well, yes. But the community is very proud, so thank you.
Very good. All in favor? That be carried. I don't know if I did that already or not. Probably I did. Any other business to come before the Cultural Services Division? Mr. Meyer, did you have anything to update us with? Anything additional? Thank you. And we have one other item, and it's in regards to the CAO's office. And it's correspondence as information in regards to the Federal Electoral Boundaries Commission for Ontario. I know there was a number of members of County Council that were on the call with our MP Gladue and got firsthand information there. So I think we have some deadlines coming up. Mr. Van Horn as well. So anybody that's really has a burning issue in regards to it, make sure you get your stuff submitted. So could I have a mover and seconder to receive that correspondence as information? Mayor Weber and Deputy Warden Hand. Any questions or comments? Mayor Broad. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Chair Arnold. Reviewing the proposed boundaries, if you look at them, they're trying to split the township of Danya-Femi in half, which makes 0 sense. I'm not sure what the academics are thinking and why they would want to do that. And I would like to put a motion forward that this committee, and if it could be forward to the PM committee this morning also, that the County of Lambton does not support the splitting of the municipality of Danya-Femi. We really don't care which writing they put us in as long as they leave us together. And I would like that a motion that this committee, along with the PM committee, that they support a motion of leaving Danya-Femi as a municipality in the proposed boundary changes.
Okay, Mayor Broad, if you hold that just for a second, let me finish dealing
Sure.
with information. All in favor of receiving that as information at this time? That be carried. Mayor Broad, please introduce your motion again.
Thanks, Chair Arnold. Sorry about that.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
my motion is that this committee, and hopefully it could get sent off to the PM committee also, that the County of Lambton supports leaving the municipality of Don-Euphemia together in the proposed boundary changes that's being proposed.
Thank you very much. Do I have a seconder? Warden Marriott. Any questions or comments? Warden Weaver, or Mayor Weaver, sorry. Too many wardens here.
I support the motion, but I wondered if we can include, I know the Lambton Shores is being taken out, but it's also not all of it being taken out. The south side of Arcona is also being left in a different, so it is splitting our municipality of Lambton Shores as well. Is there a way, the wording, I guess, to go through to include that, plus and I think we really need to keep our county more together in a riding and not in several different ridings. So I would like it some way to be worded, and I don't know the wording to get that to include that Lambton Shores remain in a riding that is within Lambton County. Keep the county boundaries secure.
Could I possibly have that as a second motion?
Which
Maybe that'd be a little easier.
we can do that.
Yep, okay, thank you. Mayor Broad, go ahead.
Maybe we could include Lambton Shores in my motion, Steve. So leaving them both together first off, and then the second motion would be to try to leave them in the county. Because Bill has said his municipality is being split off also.
Okay, so I guess the motion, the body of the motion will change then. That's being proposed. And that's to keep Don-Euphemia and Lambton Shores all together in the redistribution, and also to keep them within the Lambton County riding. So that'd be the Sarnia-Lambton riding then, and whatever, I can't pronounce the rest of it that they're proposing. I'm sorry and I apologize. My language barriers are problems. So can that be done, Mr. Tifo? Okay,
Thank you, Chair.
Put those together?
Yeah, it can be done to put them together, but just to confirm, if I understand correctly, the motion would be to ensure that the municipality of Don-Euphemia and the municipality of Lambton Shores are kept within one federal riding.
Yes.
And that to the extent possible, that Lambton County as a jurisdiction be maintained in no more than 2 federal ridings is essentially what you're getting to. Is that correct?
Okay, does that work?
Yeah.
Warden Marriott, were you the seconder? That's what I thought. And you're all right with that?
Perfectly fine, yep.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other questions or comments in regards to this? All in favor? That be carried. And that can be presented to the PM committee as well, sir? Thank you very much. Any other business to come before this esteemed body of fine folks today? Seeing none, I don't believe we have any in-camera items, according to my agenda anyways. And I guess we're looking for the all-important motion to have a rest. Mayor Napper and Mayor Broad, move to adjourn. All in favor? That be carried. Thank you very much, folks.